is going to be another one of those do what you can with what you got videos and figuring it out as you go. Thank you for joining me once again. Thinking about this last night and over the past 2 weeks actually. I want to try to do a no-dig bed here. I have 2 more no-dig beds on my property. That's these 2 in a row here. The far one did alright. He just got a bit of grass on this corner. This one never was any good. I'm putting compost and mulch in it every year, so it's gotten to the point now that I can dig through it and dig out the grass roots. So I might get this better now. But I put the cardboard down underneath and 6 inches of compost on top and 6 inches of mulch on top of that. I've been planting potatoes in here for the last 3 years. That being said, see, the cardboard disintegrates and there's still weed roots underneath that comes right up the weeds that we have around. Apparently there's grasses that don't go by rhizomes, don't spread by rhizomes, but I have no experience with them. I know about the grass we got here that's a pain in the butt, and in a few other places too. An wholesale business closed down, and he was going to just have a fire on the beach and get rid of all this, burn it. He asked me if I wanted it, so I took it. And well, there's several uses for cardboard. We're going to use that to make a no-dig bed now. So what I'm thinking about is that here's the path coming down from the apple tree on the cliff, and it comes across the dam here. And so you would walk out right here. If we had a harbor between the 2 beds, then we can have a trellis on the sides of the harbor for planting peas and beans next to. I can't put the bed right in line with the other bed. It will come here, crossing through and having the tree in the middle of the bed split. It's nothing serious really, but the problem is the bed would stick right out into the meadow. The initial plan was to follow this ditch anyway, 10 feet out from the ditch. Now this tree is 10 feet out. We need the bed to be back a little bit from that anyway, and to follow along the edge of the second pond, it will come here, down like this. For the sake of that and the goji there, you'll be trained on the trellising system as well. So if we add the opening 5 feet, that's a brick right there. And I'd rather have the bed square. So from inside to inside, we're going to have to move this right away. Now remember, we're wanting 3 feet inside the bed. 3-foot planting area. So that's right there. On this side, But we'll figure out how to do it when we're getting the pergola up there. It's 75 inches. No, I can bring it up to 6 feet, I think. What I'm going to try to do now is make a straight line following the hedge right from the corner of that bed and see where it goes. Okay. That's 5 feet. And 3 feet, something like that. Now going this way is supposed to be 10 feet from the inside of that brick to the inside of that one. That corner should be about right there. Remember, this doesn't have to be exact. We're just trying to make it a relative rectangle. The maple tree, I think, was causing trouble for the goji I had here. I'm not sure about that yet. If you watch my other videos, you'll see why I'm not sure about gojis down this stretch anyway. That's another story. I don't really want a bed too close to a huge tree like that, because once it gets this size, you can see there's a big root right here, and they start to show the roots up on the surface. This is probably risen like this because of a root from that tree. So looking at it from this way, that's what we have. When I measure from the other bed, we've got 5 feet here. On this side we have 67 inches. So it's only half a foot out. It's not too bad. We can deal with that. Now for the cardboard. So here's what I'm thinking. Most people, they would take this plastic off. Tape. I'm not sure that's necessary actually. From here to here, it's just 3 feet. I wanted to go far enough that it would be out in underneath the edging that I'm going to put on. So I need it like 4 feet. The other thing, when you're cutting up cardboard boxes, if you come to this and if you use this full piece, you could be tempted or fall to the error of leaving gaps and not fully overlapping. So if you cut your cardboard up, now I've got the one square of cardboard. If I overlap this with another piece of cardboard, I'm not accidentally leaving gaps. Now I have a good 3 inch. You moved. I gotta fix the little tightening screw. As I was saying, I have a good 3-inch overlap there, maybe more. Now I'll do it brick ways. I've got a small one over there, so I'll start on this side with a large one. Now this is the first layer, and down on this end there's a short piece right down on the end. I'm going to start down there and go back up with another layer. You notice that they're all overlapped. Make sure you overlap, make sure there's no gaps whatsoever that would let, once the compost is on top, that would let light get down through to the vegetation that you're covering up. There. That's 2 layers of cardboard. Should have no gaps for light to get down to the vegetation underneath. We are doing a no-dig bed. For the first year at least, your vegetation is growing in the compost. On our initial bed, we loosened up the subsoil. Put down 2 inches of compost. But for a no-dig bed, you're going to have, for non-root crops, you're going to need at least 6 inches of compost. If you're putting in root crops, like carrots, you need 8 to 10. We're going to put in 6 inches because in this bed we have not planned to put in any root crops. The bricks, however, that I use for the other side, remember, they're only 2 inches thick. Aspen, I had a lot of aspen around and I was cutting it down. And now I'm into cutting spruce and birch. It's not a good firewood. So I decided not to use it for firewood. However, it does have its uses. And when you got wood split up like this, it's going to be useful for hedge for my border now. So that's what the border looks like. And now we have to fill that in with compost. We're getting some dry weather, which means in the next few days I'll be cutting the grass and I'll have mulch to put around the plants as soon as I put them out in the Shedwars garden. Normally I like to sift my compost, but for this task I'm just going to pick out any big pieces I see. It'll probably take about another 5 wheelbarrow loads, and I'll show you the finished product when I'm done. But first I'll show you it from this side. The first wheelbarrow load, that's what it looks like. I'm going to do that all the way to the end. So there, it took another 4 wheelbarrow loads, 5 wheelbarrow loads in all. If the plants don't grow in that, I don't know, there's nothing I can do for you. But we're not finished yet. Remember the rhizomes of grass and stinging nettles and the like that refuse to die? Well, I'm still going to cut around the edge of the cardboard here, and hopefully without their life force from outside, that they will die underneath. So I hope you enjoyed this little experience. Thanks for coming along. Hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.